All right, so I'm being asked what this is all about here. Easter in Eden. Maybe you've seen it on social media a little bit. Easter in Eden, what's about, why you should get it, and why you should get a copy for your pastor. So this book covers Genesis chapters 1 through 11. Those are the famous Sunday school chapters. The Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Noah and the Ark, the Tower of Babel. Those stories that on a surface level we all know, we just don't know why as Christians they're so important to us. How those 11 chapters lay the whole foundation for the rest of the Bible and how they point us to Jesus. So let me just ask you, how does the story of Cain and Abel point to Jesus? How does the story of Noah and his ark point to Jesus? What about, more specific, the story of Noah getting drunk and passing out naked in his tent? How does that point to Jesus, his death, and his resurrection? So this is based on a series we did in our church last year, where we went for the whole year, we went through Genesis 1 through 11. In order to do that series, I read through about 35 to 40 different books from throughout church history. This was the church fathers, the medieval doctors, the reformers, the Puritans, basically if anything up to about 200 years ago. Had a couple of modern commentaries, but didn't consult them too much. I wanted to know how the church historically read Genesis 1 through 11, creation, Adam and Eve, the fall, the flood, Babel, the whole thing. And it was so different than the way I have heard it preached in my lifetime. So did a deep dive throughout church history. A lot of quotes in here from John Chrysostom, St. Augustine, Martin Luther, Calvin, Jonathan Edwards, Tertullian, I mean, you name it, Thomas Aquinas, it's packed in there. And for most of church history, the main interest, the main passion was, how do we find the gospel? How do we find Christ, his incarnation, his death, his crucifixion, his burial, his resurrection, his ascension to the right hand of the Father, and his return? How are they foreshadowed? How's the foundation for those things laid in Genesis 1 to 11? And you go through the annals of church history, wow, all over the place. So condensed all that down into these 300 pages. It can be for a pastor, for a tool to help preach through Genesis 1 to 11, but also the language is such that any reasonably educated 16-year-old should be able to pick it up and read it and enjoy it. So you don't need to be a pastor, just hungry to find Christ in Scripture. Easter in Eden, the picture that is from, the date is on the top there, from 1512. It was a wood carving, and then on the back, that is from the Hagia Sophia Church in Constantinople, which has been temporarily renamed Istanbul. So yeah, get yourself a copy, get it for your pastor, because your pastor can never have enough Bible commentaries, obviously, so put this on his Christmas list, and this will be what he's getting for Christmas. And I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think is the most far out insight into who Christ is. And let me just ask you before the video's end, what are some ways you see Christ in Genesis 1 to 11, particularly the days of creation? Do you see Christ in day 1 of creation? What about day 2? What about day 3 of creation? Can you see how each of the days of creation point forward to the mission and work of Christ? It's in there, and I'm not going to make a whole video explaining each day, but it's in the book. And I hope you get it, and hope you really enjoy it. God bless.